What's up, guys? How are you doing today? Today we have URI Royals versus the University of South Carolina. University of Southern California, Team B. Today I'm joined by my good friend Lucas and myself, Unknown Reality, and welcome.
Hello,
So,
I'm
Lucas,
I'm Lucas, also known in game as Saber Spades. What's up, guys?
we got a good game today. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to take a look at University of Southern California, but they got a great team looking up. A lot of diamonds, a lot of platinums, and URI, full of platinums, but definitely outranked here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of high KDAs, honestly, which is surprising. Like across the board, just high KDAs, high win rates. It's gonna be a tough match, but we'll have to see how they do.
And totally agree with you there. Pre-Fnatic definitely increased his champion pool. He plays in the mid lane, obviously. Definitely more than just the Azir now to worry about. He's got a lot of good champions, such as the Jhin, the Lux, and that definitely is going to add a lot of variability for the mid lane.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I'm seeing their mid laner also does ADC. We're seeing Ezreal and Lucian a lot, so it's gonna be a lot of poke that he might have to put up with in this match.
Yep, and we're just going to be waiting to get started here. Just waiting for the game to start. Everybody is in the lobby currently. And we're looking to have a really good game. URI 8-2, going to go for 10-2 tonight. Good luck, URI Royals.
Yeah, go team.
And like I said, we're just going to be waiting in the pregame lobby to get this game started.
Should learn how to set up a little bit of a background music for something like this. Just a little bit easy listening for when the people are watching.
Indeed. All right, and we're going to get started now. Finally, inside of Champ Select.
It looks like on the blue team we're gonna have the Royals, and on the purple team or red. Wait, purple team. I
Purple
thought it was
team
supposed
is.
to be red team now.
It's
Did they
actually.
not change that for spectate?
No, it's a little bit different. Blue team is actually going to be the University of Southern California, and URI Royals going to be on
Oh
the
yeah, I
purple
guess that's
team.
fucked. My bad.
First band coming in from the USC B is going to be the Alistar. That's definitely going to be a target pick on ASCII. He has a huge win rate with huge KDA with Alistar. However, only a 47% win rate from Alistar. So it's a little bit confusing, but Alistar is definitely one of those tanky, overpowered champions right now.
Well, yeah, but he only stacks his tank, so it might not be a good thing when those that high KDA goes on to an All-Star. That might be part of why that's a lower win rate if you think about it.
Indeed, and an Uder brand coming in from the Royals. They had a problem with the Uder. Again, I believe it was against USC, not USC, but University of South Carolina rather. Against the Uder, where Uder absolutely destroyed them in the early game. And the Azir band coming in from USC B now, and that is definitely a target pick, a band pick for Pre-Fnatic, who has most of his games played with Azir, 56% win rate, and a 3.13 KDA.
Well, the bans are actually coming out really fast here from the blue side. Master Yi immediately banned straight as they had the opportunity. It looks like they know exactly what they're going for right now.
And a lot of tanky bands coming in from the Royals. Uder, Malphite, and, a lot of very bursty champions coming in from USCB in the bands.
Yeah, it looks like the Soraka ban too, actually. So we're not going to be seeing that again. It seems like that's banned almost in every game now.
Soraka did just get buffed in the last patch. She did decrease the cooldown on her Q as well as the mana cost. And she now heals a bit differently. I'm not entirely sure how that mechanic works, but the insta-lock Nautilus coming in from Lucia.
Yeah, the Blitzcrank possibly. We got the Blitzcrank hovering. It will be Vayne on the red team for the Royals, and we're still waiting to see if that Blitzcrank will be picked up. We'll have a grab on each side possibly. But I did want to mention with the Soraka, the way that heal works is when she uses it on one of her teammates, it gives them a heal over time instead of that instant heal. And I believe the heal over time is a little bit more, but it's harder to consistently heal a player, and I believe it takes more health from her as well.
huge picks coming in for URI Royals. The Gragas going to be in the jungle, probably going to Deranged Tournament, and Loud Ninja finally getting his Vayne. It's just about over with when he gets his Vayne. Stats for Loud Ninja with the Vayne. Vayne has a 56% win rate with him and a 2.73 KDA, but it's well known to be his favorite of all champions in the bottom lane. And Deranged Hermit with the Gragas, once again, one of his favorite champions as well. You played him a couple times in the last few collegiate games. 59% win rate, 3.89 KDA for Deranged Tournament with this. Lukia, though, we can't ignore the fact that he is also doing pretty well with Nautilus, a 60% win rate, 3.13 KDA. And now coming in for the picks is going to be a Nidalee in the jungle if I'm Ethanol, and Kimdono picking up the Lucian in the bottom lane.
It's a very interesting matchup seeing the Gragas into the Nidalee, especially because Gragas has gained a lot of damage now, and he's still a bit tankier and has more CC as well. So we'll have to see if he counter jungles at all.
It's definitely possible. Ethanol, though, really good with Nidalee. A 62.5% win rate, 3.13 KDA, and Camdono with the Lucian as well only has a 43% win rate on him and a 2.31 KDA. Definitely not. I wouldn't say they're bad stats, but I wouldn't also say that they're good stats. But it's a champion that he's been working on. He's been playing a lot of them recently, and it'd definitely be interesting to see how he works that in there with the Nautilus. And Nautilus Lucian combo in the bottom lane will definitely be interesting. I would have liked to see a Braum possibly with the Lucian to get off those stacks, but that's going to be Bard locked in for ASCII, one of his favorite champions, as we all know. He's got a 75% win rate. Well, I'm sorry, he's got a 50% win rate with Bard and a 2.9 KDA, and Pre-Fnatic picking up his Lux, 71% win rate and a 5.67 KDA. Definitely scary picks coming in here for URI.
Yeah, I like the Bard into the Nautilus, honestly, because if Nautilus is diving in at any point, Bard only has to throw his Q directly at him. That stops him completely in his tracks. It's actually a really great counter pick right now.
I definitely have to agree with you there. Atreyan now holding the Morgana, and JW and friends holding the Fiora in the top lane. That'd be quite interesting to see a Fiora matchup with the top lane. Box of stuff still yet to pick.
As a Fiora main, I always love to see a Fiora, but I'm rooting for the Royals, so I kind of wish I could see the Fiora on the hopefully winning team. But either way, Fiora is a great split pusher with this team comp. They could easily do a 1-3-1.
Atreyan going to be locking in that Morgana. Going to be pretty good with the Black Shield going on to ASCII's ult, or even possibly Pre-Fnatic's trying attempts to initiate with the Q. And JW and friends locking in the Fiora as well in the top lane. And Box of Stuff, the last one to pick, he's going to be trying to counterpick this Fiora, or else she can be a great deal of trouble in the late game.
Yeah, we could possibly see something along the lines of maybe a Darius with this kind of team comp. Something definitely tanky and heavy on the engage, it would look like, as Bard's not very heavily tanky, and you can't only have the Gragas for engage. There it is, the Darius. I actually called that. Awesome for me.
And a nice lock in there by URI Royals. URI Royals, very scary team. It's going to be the Darius locked in the top lane. This is definitely going to be an interesting game. Definitely not out of it yet is USC B, with an also equally good team. Atreyan probably going the best option there with the Morgana, being able to stop so much initiation coming in from URI Royals, hopefully being able to survive those team fights.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very intense match, and I'm excited to see how this will go.
And as we load in here, we're going to have the 3-minute delay going in as well, so we have a little bit to talk about. But who do you think is going to win this game? Is it going to be hashtag URI, or is it going to be hashtag USC B? Please post that in the chat. Go Royals.
Go Royals.
Now, if we look at their comp, it's going to be Fiora. They're actually, USC B is going to be running 2 teleports. What do you think about that?
2 teleports I've been seeing a lot of lately. I wonder about a Morgana with a teleport from mid lane. I usually see it on a champion more or less along the lines of Lissandra, with the ability to protect themselves with their ultimate and the heavy CC. Morgana is not always the champion to run into the middle right away, but we'll have to see how that turns out.
And we're also noticing 2 heals now coming in URI. Pre-Fnatic, both Pre-Fnatic and Loud Ninja are going to be carrying heal. What do you think about the significance of that?
See, I have to be honest. I hate heal in the mid lane. I think it's the worst thing ever because it's meant to be used on somebody else at the same time. I think that when you're in a lane matchup like this, shield is our barrier is always better, especially when you can kind of time it with that ticking damage from the Morgana. So I personally would value barrier more, but the defensive summoners against a team like this is smart either way. That's just how I see it.
Now, one of the problems is definitely is if you have two heals on a team and you use both of them, accidentally without proper communication between each other, they're going to have a very decreased efficiency of each heal, and that's going to be vital that URI keeps up that communication when they're actually going to be using a heal, so that way they get the effectiveness out of both of them.
Absolutely, and thankfully for them, the enemy team didn't choose to take any ignites at all, so their heals won't be nullified by that at least. But they'll just have to be careful of nullifying themselves on accident. Yes.
Atreyan, though, usually builds items to actually apply the grievous wounds, and that might be a problem if she does continue to build them. And she's pretty much shut down Pre-Fanatic and Loud Ninja's heals, though.
Yes, it's especially with Darius on the red side team as well. It is very possible that we'll see the Morello Namicon rolling out in the mid lane, first item from Morgana, to deal with those two heals and the extreme heal on Darius.
Morgana is one of those champions where all she has to really do is put a pool down, and she automatically gets almost every single farm. But she does have to level up her W to about level 4, get enough ability power. I want to say about 200 ability power, so we'll be able to take out those waves of farm. Nice wave clear coming in from the from USC, but also the Lux on URI's team is not to be shelved, I guess, as she has pretty good wave clear as well. Deranged Tournament and his barrels with Gragas is going to provide a little bit of wave clear, but I have to give the wave clear advantage to USC.
Yes, it's there's not really a lot of amazing wave clear on either side. Darius is okay once he gets one of the Hydras, much better. Lux is okay early on. Morgana is very slow with her wave clear early on, but that quickly ramps up, as you said, when you level up her W 4 times. But aside from that, really all they have is Lucian for any significant wave clear on either side. There's not a lot of fast wave clear to be seen in this game.
And we're going to be loading in now to the game. The 3-minute delay is over. It's just going to take a little while. There we go. My computer's finally communicating with me.
Yeah, my client's actually having a little bit of issues too.
All right, and we're finally loading into the game here. Possibly.
One day.
All right, and we're loading into the lobby now. A lot of platinum banners on the top. Also, that scary diamond banner on the Loud Ninja. Definitely going to be the carrier of this team, hopefully, with the Vayne.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Diamond Vayne does against a team of plats. If everybody's right about how ELO works, then automatically it should be a win. But with all those high KDAs and win rates I'm seeing on the blue side team, we will have to see how that goes. Blue side is USC, correct?
Blue side is USC. Purple side is going to be the URI Royals.
All right, I have to keep track of that.
And we can hear the music, but the game has still not loaded in just yet.
Yeah, it's taking its time today.
All right, and we are in the Rift. Welcome to the Rift, everybody. Good game here coming in. URI Royals in the red side. Blue side is going to be the University of Southern California, Team B.
Yes, and it will be very interesting to see how this mid lane plays out, actually. I've always liked the idea of Lux and Morgana on the same team with those roots, but I've never gotten to see the lane matchup against each other, especially on the higher elo scale, so this should be very interesting.
Now URI Royals sticking together, including Box's stuff, Darius in the top lane. Going to be trying to invade here, but they got Lucian in the tri-bush, Morgana Nidalee in the top area, along with the Nautilus. Going to be trying to go in through tri-bush, it appears.
Yeah, we may or may not be seeing the 5v4 invade. And that's a pause.
And that's a pause, and for those keeping track, this is going to be the 4th pause in a row. Congratulations, URI Royals. We're going to give them clap for that.
All right, from what it looks like, there's something going on in the team speak for them. On let's see, on that would be red side Royals. So Royals team speak having a little bit of issue in the update it seems. So we're gonna have to wait for them.
One of the bright sides, though, is I finally get to screw around with my little settings here to make it definitely look a lot better.
There you go. I wish that it would let the spectator move around during a pause so we can look at where the players are and talk about some of that.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, but we are able to see the chat. At least all chat. Please voice your aggression towards Loud Ninja 1. Loud Ninja 1, definitely the scrub of this game.
Yes, the highest elo player is indeed the scrub.
No, he's definitely a scrub. Eric, if you hear me, you're a scrub, bro.
Scrubs for days.
And for those keeping track, that's the 3rd shots fired on Eric now in a row. We're also going to clap for that. Amazing. URI Royals going to be trying an invade here, looks like. We're at 46 seconds on a pause, a minute and a half into the pause. I guess USC B is having some issues with their TeamSpeak. Who uses TeamSpeak nowadays? I don't even know.
Sorry about that.
And Lucas now having the terrible internet connection and is making it back into the stream. Welcome back, Lucas.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's not my internet connection. It's unfortunately whatever happened to my computer when updating to Windows 10. It's been having this problem for a long time.
Now, one of the things that we're going to see here is if USC was watching the stream, going back into 3 minutes, they're probably going to be able to see this invade. Very unfortunate. They're going to have about 20 seconds or so notice. So URI are going to have to invade fairly quickly, and it looks like they're going to be doing so.
They're all rushing straight for the bush. They had that time to discuss it. And it looks like the blue side was not even aware of this invade, actually. They were all sitting by the Krugs. So this will allow a deep ward from URI.
Yeah, they're getting in that deep ward, but they're going to have to back off. Darius, a long trip back to the top lane as minions are going to be spawning now in about 3 seconds. He's got to get there pretty fast if he wants to hit that first wave.
It looks like he should be able to make it just in time.
Cam Dono and Lukia looking to leash the red buff for Final. Laying down some traps. She started a trap. Started her W.
Yes, they have moved off of the Krug, so URI no longer has vision of where they start. It'll be interesting to see if they predict the blue side start or the red side start for USBC.
And the Royals are going to start Gromp, and they're going to go to their respective lanes after a nice leash there for Deranged Tournament. Box of stuff in JW and Friends already trying to trade a little bit of damage in there. JW and Friends shortly out damaging Atreyan, taking some damage as well from the Lux, procking the Thunderlords.
That would be the first proc. Keep count of the many Thunderlords procs that will be happening in this game.
That sounds like a terrible idea. That's going to be a lot to count. I'm actually going to be increasing my volume here for a second.
So as before I lost connection, I wanted to talk about this Darius versus Fiora matchup because it is a very tough 50-50 kind of matchup. Whoever gets the first kill generally is going to win that lane. And it can go either way. It looks like Darius is having a little bit of trouble, but it always does until that burst comes out that we see where Fiora loses almost half of her health to his kit.
Yeah, box of stuff there with nice damage control on the Fiora. He's going to be missing that. And every time he hits one of those little swirly moves, I don't know exactly what it's called, but that's okay. But every time he hits one of those little swirly moves, he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage as well as healing back a portion of his health depending on the distance from Darius. And that's going to give him his sustainability. Atreyan pocketing another Thunderlords from Pre-Fnatic.
It looks like it's a very aggressive lane between Lux and Morgana, both actually. Constant harass on both sides. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this, or else we're gonna end up losing track of what happens there.
Keeping an early track on farm, it's actually tied in the bottom lane. In the top lane, Fiora's at 14, Darius at 16, short CS
Oh,
lead in the
that
jungle.
dredge charge though from the Nautilus connecting straight with the wall from USB-C.
In the jungle now, we're looking at a short CS lead, 15-8 in favor of URI Royals. Nautilus is going to be missing his grab there.
There'll be two dredge charges in a row. That might be a tell as to how this bottom lane will go.
It's going to be really hard to hit the Vayne. Vayne has a lot of mobility. She can easily tumble out. And ASCII getting out some nice lockdown stuns with his Q.
Yes, it's always nice to see a well-placed Bard Q.
Now, Bard is one of ASCII's favorite champions. He likes to call it Brad. Lots of stuff, taking quite a bit of damage from JW and friends. Not going to be able to return any damage. Eifenal trying to get a gank here. Trayan's going to miss his Q, and then Trayan now in a little bit of trouble as Lux is able to back off and defend herself from the Nidalee gank, able to dodge most of the abilities.
That is 3 dredge charges in a row now, too, from the Nautilus. Bot lane support is starting to have some serious trouble on USB-C's team, it seems, with his early harassment.
Indeed, you're right. Trayan's going to be locked down a little bit here, unable to get in the black shield before he is rooted underneath her own tower, though she's going to be able to survive that easily. Down to about half health, though. She is in a little bit of trouble, losing to the Lux in lane.
It does look like the Lux is also though, so likely back will be happening soon for that team as well.
That's going to be a teleport coming in from Morgana. Big teleport use there from the Morgana. Not really sure what she was trying to do. I know she was trying to get back into lane. She's going to be able to get maybe 2 waves of
she
advantage.
Stopped the back. She has stopped Lux's back, though. That puts her at a large advantage in the lane, as Lux is now forced to stay with no mana.
Now it's going to be Lukia trying to get down some damage on the ASCII and Loud Ninja. However, Camdono pretty far away, not able to follow up on that. Deranged Hermit now coming in from the river. He's going to be trying to go around, looks like Tribe Bush here, but he might have to back off. Not in a easy gank here, but he's going to try anyway. And he's going to be actually slowly backing off. He's very hesitant, and I think it's a good idea for him to back off, wait for the gank in the future.
Yes, now if he was level 6, that would have been a perfect spot to gank, because they're far enough away from their tower. But without the level 6 there, he's relatively weak at the ganking role early on.
And that's going to be flashed down by Box and stuff just to land the Q. Not really a good use of his flash. Nidalee also in the top lane. She's going to be backing off now. Deranged Hermit with the attempted gank in the mid lane. However, Morgana's Black Shield is going to be able to prevent anything from happening there.
It seems like Nidalee is keeping a good eye on the top lane, making sure that Darius can't make any kills here. But it's going to waste a lot of Nidalee's time as she sat there for almost an entire minute keeping an eye on him.
So if we're looking at summoners right now, we have a Trayan down with the teleport. And we also have the Box of Stuff down with his flash. So that we have an equal advantage for both teams in terms of the summoner spells.
Yes, I do value the teleport spell more, though, but in the mid lane, it is not a big deal to use your teleport to get back to lane, as that's generally what they do the first couple times around.
Lux now down quite a bit of CS because she did have to go back separately. She's at 49. Morgana is at 60. However, Deranged Hermit's got a pretty big advantage over the
we have a big lockup in the bottom lane with the Vayne condemned to the Bard Q, although it seems like Nautilus is just too tanky to take any real damage there.
Camdono not really doing very well with the follow-up, and he just doesn't want to fight this at all. He knows the power of Loud Ninja 1 and his Vayne, as well as the ASCII lockdown from Bard.
Yes, a good Vayne is always something to fear. 3 shots is all it takes to kill you late game.
Lux is going to actually be building some cooldown. She's going to be rushing her Morellos, it looks like.
Yes, so it will most likely... Oh, and the Morgana is actually going for the Chalice, even though there's 2 heals and the Darius to deal with. So that is somewhat poor itemization in the long run.
I have to agree, but Pre-Fanatic going to be picking up his blue from Deranged Tournament, going back into the lane. Now she has the advantage over the Morgana.
Yes, that blue buff will make a huge difference. Lux all burned just to get vision on the USB-C blue buff, I suppose. That's an ultimate down for nothing. It looks like Nidalee's coming in right now, but the Morgana bind was messed up, so despite taking a little damage, Lux will get away.
Yeah, very poor binding there by a train. A train unable to get a lot of lockdowns on the Lux, and when she does, it's not when she needs it because Nidalee is far away, not able to gank.
Yeah, it's a lot of coordination issues, but we'll have to see if they can clean that up as they start to hit power spikes. But now we're starting to see a big clash in the top lane. Darius ends up getting all of his damage down to Fiora, but it looks like she's going to get away by the skin of her teeth.
Yes, Darius and Fiora both building phages in the top lane. About the same items. However, Fiora was able to build it. Now Loud Ninja in a little bit of trouble. However, the beautiful ult there by ASCII able to save Loud Ninja.
Yes,
that was an amazing ult.
Rather perfect. And with all of the little hot cocoa cups that the Bard has left out, Loud Ninja is able to heal themselves up rather quickly and remain in lane.
And we're just going to actually rewind that a little bit, just so we can show our viewers, once again, the beautiful ult in the bot lane. What seems to happen here? We have to watch this again. So Lukia is going to... I'm not really entirely sure what he's trying to do. Might have to drop back another 15 seconds.
I'll keep an eye on the actual game while you go. Explain to you what happens and what you missed.
And here it is. Lukia trying to lock him down. Loud Ninja just barely out of that ult, able to save the Loud Ninja. An amazing play there by ASCII and his Bard. And we go back now to the live game.
Yes, nothing really has happened for the most part. It looks like, although Fiora just managed to come in with the kill, she managed to turn it around on Darius after being shoved all the way under her tower.
Lukia going to be putting down a lot of damage now. Iphenol taking the ult by Lux, and that's going to be Nautilus now going down. Atreyan teleporting in, going to be getting the 4-man ult. However, 4 people are also going to be getting out of it. Lux locked down, probably the best one that wanted to be locked down as she has the most health. Atreyan going to be having to back off there. That's going to be a 2-0 in favor of URI.
That's actually
I'm sorry,
1-1. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I'm terrible.
It's all right. It's all right. But
So
yes, it does look like it's support for... Who died there? Oh, yes, top lane, Darius. So it looks like that's a top lane for support. Not exactly the most favorable of a trade, but a trade nonetheless. And I believe, did they get a kill onto the Vayne?
They did not get a kill on the Vayne. I thought actually Vayne had gotten a kill, but...
They got a kill onto the Gragas, but I guess that's okay.
Definitely a very confusing fight there. Very hard to follow.
Yes, it was a little bit of a mess, and sometimes can be how it is when you have things like a Gragas and a Nautilus throwing around CC in a fight.
Absolutely. Iphenol, low health, going to be trying to fight these wolves, though. She's got to watch out. She's pretty low health. Those things do a lot of damage.
Yep, but it looks like the resets from her pounce will be more than enough to keep her damage above that of the wolves.
Lux going to be trying to push the wave here, so she's able to go back. Lux got a nice handful of gold, tied, though, with the Morgana. Morgana finishing her first item of the game, as well as picking up a pink ward. Lux finishing Morel and Monomicon as well.
Yes, and I'm looking at this top lane matchup again, and it looks like the Fiora is riposting almost everything perfectly for the most part. However, now she's starting to take a little bit of damage. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed with Fiora versus Darius specifically, is no matter how many times the Fiora kills the Darius, he can always still keep up in damage. So I'm going to keep an eye on that top lane specifically.
A lot of summoners burned right now. No teleports up from either side. One heal just burned. Pre-Fanatic's heal in the bottom lane. Loud Ninja's heal coming up shortly in about 25 seconds.
Right now, it seems to just be a whole lot of the farm game. Not really a lot happening for either team. They just seem to be focused on trying to get through their early game and get their first items before anything big starts to happen.
I'm definitely wondering if Morgana's leveling up her Black Shield, as she is able to basically take almost every single burst that's put out by the Lux now.
Is that something that you can look at and spectate?
Oh, no. Unfortunately, you can't. And a nice gank here by Deranged Hermit. The dunk by the Darius is going to pick up the kill. That's 2 kills now. I'm sorry, just 1 kill on the Darius. Deranged Hermit picked up the last kill in the top lane.
All right, and I have found it. There is an indicator of how many times they've leveled each ability. It looks like Morgana is leveling her Black Shield second, with her W being the main focus. Her Q only has 1 point in it.
Definitely leveling up that W for the easy farm. The only way to farm. Lux in... Oh, a nice initiation. Loud Ninja now pretty low. However, he's going to be stopping the ult. ASCII now in a little bit of trouble as Komodo, Elfenrod, and now he's going to be taking the devil hit. Now ASCII barely getting out of that with the magical journey.
The journey to safety after an ultimate from Nautilus and a spear from Nidalee hitting both.
An amazing ult there once again by the Bard. However, he did lock himself down along with the Lucian, barely getting out the skin of his teeth. Nice play there by URI, and once again, nice ult there by ASCII.
Yes, that ultimate actually is the only reason why Vayne made it out of there, as it prevented Lucian from continuing to hit her with his ult's bullets.
URI trying to steal the dragon there. However, the Lux, not enough damage with her ult right now. Blue is going to be up. URI trying to give that to Lux safely, as they aren't unsure if USC wants to take it.
It looks like they are going to back off, though, and head back to their side of the map. So Blue will be safely given towards the Lux, and she will be continue to push, which is perfectly timed, as she was just starting to get
Now, if we're looking at the gold count, we're at 21,000 for basically both teams. URI with a short... Oh, actually, they just eliminated that lead. A very small lead was in favor of URI. Probably still have it at about 50 gold, but that's irrelevant right now, as both teams are doing amazing in the farm and amazing at defending. There you go. Lucia, once again, missing his depth charge.
Yeah, there seems to be a constant problem for him in this lane. Even when the Vayne is not tumbling away, his dredge charges just are not landing.
And a very unfortunate coming in for Lucia, missing a lot of depth charges. Hopefully, as the game goes on, he can do a lot better as hitting those and able to lock down the Loud Ninja in order to take him out. Loud Ninja now going to be doing quite a bit of damage, picking up the Phantom Dancer first.
Yeah, the Phantom Dancer first is an interesting thing. I have not seen that before, but I don't see a lot of Vaynes either. It's a very interesting dueling item that is only very few specific champions really get a whole lot of benefit out of it as far as ADCs are concerned. It's something I'd almost see as something to counter like a jungler ganking you, but it seems to be more just picked up to try to do as much damage and shoot as fast as possible.
And you're absolutely right there. Lucian obviously building down his cooldown reduction with the Essence Reaver in the bot lane as well, picking up Boots of Lucidity. Already at 30% cooldown on the Lucian in just items alone.
Yeah, the Essence Reaver is a huge thing for the Lucian. With the changes that it made, it changed the entire identity of how he builds. He gets the Essence Reaver, Boots of Lucidity, and say something like the Rapid Fire Cannon, and he already has 45% CDR, which at 20-25 minutes in the game is ludicrous.
Luda. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
That was awful.
As you all know, I like to make really shitty jokes on stream at all times.
You can be our own personal freak.
I can. No, I can't be as good as Freak. Did you watch that the Immortals game today? Dignitas once again throwing again.
They did they? Okay, I had thought that they were going to take it from Immortals. I heard it had gotten really bad. How did they throw that?
Oh, stupid fights.
Just taking fights they shouldn't have.
And now Box of Stuff in a little bit of trouble from Aphenol and JW and friends.
The spear will
He's going to have to flash out. However, Fiora is going to follow up, and that's the lockdown on Box of Stuff. Box of Stuff is going to fall to the Fiora. Picking up the assist is Aphenol with the Nidalee. A nice play there. Able to also force the flash on the Darius. In a very poor situation there by the Darius, and unable to actually defend anything against USC.
And this is only something that is trademark of the Fiora matchup with anybody, really. You give her first kill, and she's just going to go a mile with it. Here she is just tearing up the Darius. She's behind him in farm, but so far has almost 2v1'd him twice now. Nidalee kind of just got in a little bit of damage there at the end. So it was almost a 2v1, 1v1.
Now, if we look at the bottom lane as well, Vayne down quite a bit of CS on the Lucian. Lucian at 167, Vayne only at 137, down by 30. However, in the jungle, we have 64 to 75. Once again, Nidalee and USC barely edging it out there, taking that lead. In the mid lane, we have 159 and 155. They're both about tied. In the top lane, 140, 146. They're about tied. And with all the kills and the assists that's spread out amongst URI, that they're making it up and making this game only a 200 gold game right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much dead even as we go. It's been very laid back, only a single dragon taken, no Rift Herald, not a whole lot of deep warding going on. It's very laid back, slow. We're probably going to see a lot of aim towards the late game at the rate this is going.
And we're approaching the 19-minute mark. Baron spawning in a minute, Dragon in a minute 30. Probably not going to see any Barons anytime soon, but just keep an eye on there. Rift Scuttle going to be going down shortly for the game.
And it looks like Darius may be roaming towards the mid lane here. We'll have to see if Box's stuff can get a kill onto the Morgana. But he's been spotted out by the pink ward, and it looks like he's going to just walk right by it. Wasn't paying attention.
Hyphenol as well, trying another gank at the bottom lane. Deranged Hermit was there, and just in case, ASCII able to help out the escape with Loud Ninja back towards the turret, laying down the hot chocolates.
But it does look like Darius is actually going to steal away the blue buff. As a person who plays a lot of top lane, it's probably my favorite thing to do is to steal away the enemy team's blue buff.
And Rift Scuttle is going to be going down now. Or Rift Herald, rather, not Rift Scuttle. That'd be sad if Rift Scuttle just, died.
And shortly after Baron will be coming up, so will Dragon. However, the Scuttle that was there for Dragon just disappeared for USBC. So there will be no vision from either team on the Dragon, and we'll have to see if they play aggressively for it.
Luck's going to be picking up the blue. And as you know, Darius doing some serious counter jungling right now in the enemy team's jungle at Wolves. Fiora now trying to come down, but it's a little too late. Gromp, Blue, and Wolves are all gone. Long gone, in fact. And Fiora now just spending time in the jungle, not really having any time to farm. And she's probably going to be losing a small advantage on this. Hyphenol picking up the red buff.
Yeah, it looks like with her lack of pushing, that minion wave that would have crashed into the tower is now going to be able to be picked up by the Darius, as it'll be hitting the minions before it'll reach that tower.
And Lux using her ult and her combo to once again clear waves, so she is able to go back with a small CS advantage of about 8. However, Morgana will be able to recoup those losses by the time that Lux comes back into lane. Actually, it looks like Lux is coming back pretty fast. Gonna be picking up the Luden's Echo as well, coming into lane with a huge power spike.
Yes. Yes, and honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed by this lane matchup because poke matchups are a lot less exciting than I remember.
That you're right. And Hyphenol trying to do something here. Gragas is going to be, looks like, fighting the dragon in the mid lane. And now Lux going to be helping him out. Hyphenol, though, very close nearby, going to be trying to steal this. He's actually going to be leashing for the Deranged Tournament. ASCII now coming up, boxes stuff. The whole team of URI. Now Hyphenol is pulled in. Very poor decision there by Hyphenol, and he's going to be falling to URI. Darius picking up the kill there. Everybody else getting assists.
Oh, that is the worst, when you always just jump a little bit later than you should have. If he had done that a second or two sooner, he possibly could have stolen it away with the execute and smite. But now he's just another body.
And Lukia missing another depth charge. However, Loud Ninja now in a little bit of trouble from ASCII. ASCII now missing his ult. However, the heal coming in.
And Lucian flashes in, but accidentally basic attacks the tower instead. It probably would not have killed Vayne anyway, but that mess up on top of the fact that Vayne managed to get away only hurts him in the end. That's a flash down for nothing.
J1 and Friends now, and Darius going to be dueling in the top lane. JW and Friends going to be using his ult. Box of stuff now at half health. JW and Friends going to be taking the bleed damage. Now he's going to be taking the bleed damage for the death, and that's Box of stuff picking up there. Unneeded was the flash from the Darius, however, as she was going to fall from hemorrhage no matter what.
But it looks like that also still got the flash out of the Fiora, which is just as unneeded. So I guess fair trade there, but Darius coming up with the kill despite the pressure he's been feeling.
URI, nice set of plays, now up 2,000 gold, 2-4 at 23 minutes, and we're going to be going into high death timer time frame now in the game, where death timers are going to be around 30 to 45 seconds. So each
Yeah,
death is major.
that's when things start to get a lot more intense with the team fights, as a single lost team fight could result in losing an entire lane of towers or losing the Baron.
And Lukia now trying to keep his lane dominance. He's able to prevent ASCII and Loud Ninja from getting any CS advantage. Lucian actually up still 30, 188 to 220. However, ASCII now using his spooky ghost. Lukia missing his death charge again. That's going to be able to get box and stuff in there and able to burst down Lukia. Lukia now missing his... And he's going to finish him off. Box and stuff.
The bleed is what takes him down in the end. It looks like Lucian will get away with 0 damage, however, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to stop this push. This is a 4-man push on the bot side tower.
And that's going to be a bot side tower down. However, also, coming in from USC, we have a Morgana Nidalee in the mid lane. This is going to be a base rush. USC taking down their first mid lane tower, and they're going to be continuing on to the second one. Ifanal and Atreyan now bursting down the tower. They got a nice set of minions. Lux unable to ult the minions, however, because she used her ult in a failed burst on trying to get Komodo.
It looks like they actually are going to get the tower just before URI is able to stop them. So in the end, they trade equally, and they can walk away with just a death.
Komodo with a nice ult there by Deranged Tournament, able to lock him down, keeping out Lukia as well. Lukia now in a little bit of trouble if they can burst down this tower fast enough, but Nidalee and Morgana are going to be coming down now. Loud Ninja locked down, unable to get any help from ASCII. ASCII now is going to be having to secure the comeback, and Morgana's going to be able to flash ult and kill ASCII and Loud Ninja. And Gragas, Deranged Tournament, is going to have to go away. Flash blown there by Atreyan. Unable to get down the snare, however, and the range tournament going to go away. That's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of USC.
And just after I had said that they managed to trade even and just take a death, they end up getting 2 kills and make it even once more.
URI now only up by 1,000 gold. It's a very tight game as we go on to 25 minutes. Lux going to be trying to pick up this third blue for her.
Yes, and it looks like Darius is really keeping up on that counter jungle mindset. He's now taking the Gromp from the blue side jungle. And it looks like he's going to have to back up, though, as Morgana and Nautilus are heading towards the top lane.
Darius has the team's kills 4-2-0 right now. Gragas in next, 1-0-3. In the bottom lane, however, the lane that is struggling this game, 1-1-3, is the Loud Ninja 1 with the Vayne, and 0-1-3 Bard. However, those aren't really bad stats. They both do have 3 assists compared to the Lucian. That is 0-1-0, no assist gold, no kill gold, actually gave up a death. So I have to give this a bot lane. Although he is losing quite a bit of CS, I do have to give it to the bot lane right now. They are definitely ahead in gold, and we can see that as they are able to stop almost every single gank coming in there from Ifanal and the Nidalee.
Yeah, the Bard has really taken a huge part in stopping those ganks. His ultimates have been perfect almost every single time. I don't think I've seen any mistakes coming in from the Bard. He's really playing on top of it right now.
Ifanal able to kill that ward fairly quickly. Darius, however, just walking out of the jungle just now. He's going to be counter-jungling hard this game, which is the reason why he is 4-2-0 right now. So powerful, so much gold. Fiora now forced to go back. Darius going to be picking up a free wave.
And it looks like he's really not that ahead on farm, but you have to keep in mind a lot of that farm is actually from the jungle, so that little single number is actually worth a lot more gold. His lead is much bigger than it looks.
Atreyan with some poor Qs there, nowhere even close to anyone, just trying to isolate them, but it's not going to work. Komodo, Atreyan, and Lukia are going to be pushing down the mid lane. Darius still staying top. Fiora trying to go up there and meet him halfway.
Yes, and it looks like the top laners are going to just stick to their lane, and the rest of the team's going to just kind of dance around their jungles and set up vision. Although Darius is heading down towards the mid lane, so it's possible we're going to be seeing a 5v4 in time for the Dragon.
Very embarrassing Q there, NW, by the Morgana. Morgana is able to hit her Q, however, unable to hit anything after that. Box of Stuff wasting his flash and unable to lock down Iphenol as well as Aski's ult. Very poor attempt at an engage there by URI. Now they're going to be going for the Dragon, Atreyan, just over around the corner, Iphenol and Lukia.
Yes, they start the Dragon, but it doesn't look like they can actually do it with the enemy team around. Fiora's finally arriving. She didn't have her teleport, but nothing happened soon enough to where she needed it. And now it looks like USBC will have position on the Dragon and will be taking it for their second Dragon of the game, unless URI can contest.
Definitely interesting. USC just taking their bottom tower with the minions. Dragon now doing quite a bit of damage on USC. Dragon does a lot of damage if you don't attack him.
Yes, and he doesn't like being ignored, which is where a lot of that damage likely comes from. It looks like they're going to just keep dancing around this Dragon now, though, and not doing anything. A lot of time being wasted for both teams, really.
And it looks like USC is finally going to be able to start it. URI unable to get any ward coverage, and that's going to be Loud Ninja to lock down, and that's going to easily secure the Dragon for USC, and they're going to easily back off here.
Yeah, it was really well played from them. They kept their vision up, and they did not let URI get even close to them until eventually it was just a war of attrition and time.
And now both teams almost at the same amount of gold, 46.1, 45.8 at URI. URI now down by 400, about 300 to 400 gold. However, they do have a lot of damage right now, and now is the time where they're going to be the strongest, and they have to take advantage of that.
Yes, their team fight is definitely a lot stronger. With the Gragas engaged, he can isolate anybody on their team, possibly a Nidalee, possibly Morgana or a Lucian. There's plenty of squishies to choose from. The long-range engage as well from the Bard and the Lux allows for more follow-up. So their team fight will be really good as long as none of them get caught out.
And it looks like URI might be trying to force a Baron fight here because they know that they have the advantage. Pre-Fnatic might be trying to go back here. He cancels his back. Going back once again, however. Box of Stuff now. And once again cancels the back. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She's very indecisive, trying to force a fight here.
Yes, it's once again heading back into that hesitant dance of vision right now. It looks like Fiora is actually going to be in the bot lane with Darius in the top. Let's see. Fiora does have her teleport. Darius does as well, so there's teleports on both teams. We're going to be seeing possibly 1-3-1 or 1-4 and then 4-1 from both of these teams right now.
And I think you may be right here. Definitely looking at some interesting items coming in for both sides. Deadman's Plate being built there for the Gragas, able to provide some tankiness as well. Picking up the Negatron and the Cloth Armor as well. Might be trying to get a ZZ Rot portal coming in for URI.
Yeah, that ZZ Rot portal would go good with the Darius and Gragas if they ever split push. But it would be questionable on the jungler more so. I would expect that more on something like the Darius, but we'll have to see what he does here.
Pre-Fnatic caught out there by the sweeper lens from Lukia.
And we're back to the Dance of Vision, although now it looks like USBC will be going for that 1-3-1, as I had been predicting in Champion Select. We'll have to see how much they can get out of it, if anything. But it will put them as a disadvantage as they have 4 together with the Darius and the Teleport, and that would put it as a 5v4 with URI in favor.
This is URI's fight tier. Lucian stuck up in the top lane. He has no way of getting down to the mid lane fast. And USC knows that, and they're going to be backing off quite a bit in the mid lane. And it looks like URI might be trying to force a Baron fight here, if they can.
Yeah, it looks like pink wards are going down right now. They'll set up vision. It could be a bait. We may see a fun bush tactic or something similar, as it doesn't seem like they're interested in going for the Baron itself.
I think you're right here. Luki and Atreyan. And they're just doing the trail of pink wards, trying to bait out. And that's Atreyan locked down and bursted by the Lux. A great burst there. Aski now going to be trying to lock out the Nautilus, however, unable to do so. And the chase is on. Deranged Tournament Box of Stuff are going to be backing off instead. Going to be taking down this easy mirror turret. Loud Ninja already there with the minion wave, taking it down. Now down to half health. And it's going to be falling down to URI. URI picking up their 4th turret of the game. USC just has 3. And now we have a lead of 500 gold in favor of URI.
Yes, they will need to pull back here now, though, as both teams have all of their members ready, minus the Morgana, and they have bot lane pushing towards URI's side. They're going to have to deal with that before it becomes a problem for them.
And a delicate dance here in the middle. Lukia not wanting to engage this. He does not have the damage with him. Kamoto, sorry, rather. Still 0-1-0. 295 farm on him, though. Not bad. 255 on the Vayne now. He's up 40. However, Vayne still does quite a bit more damage because she does have that 1 kill and 3 assists and has probably a small lead advantage, a gold lead advantage.
Interestingly enough, no, the Lucian actually does have 100 more gold than the Vayne, so they're pretty much dead even in terms of gold right now.
And speaking of dead even now, URI lost their 500 gold advantage. Now 52.8 for both sides. USC going to be trying to kill any wards near that Baron. Askey doing the same thing. Askey might be caught out here. The ult by the Nautilus here.
That
Unable.
will be a Nautilus ult for nothing, as he will get away from that.
The magical journey is one amazing thing.
With that Nautilus ult down, that hurts their team fight a lot, and with that already stronger team fight position that URI has, they'll be able to completely take control of the middle of the map now.
And there we see the 2 pink wards set up once again. Going to be trying to bait somebody out, single somebody out. You get that easy Baron right after. Nautilus is in range of the Darius. Darius just chilling in the bush right now. Nautilus has no way of checking that bush, so he's not going to go any further.
It doesn't look like Nautilus is aware of the rest of the team there. Oh. He will go in. He's going to be locked up. We'll have to see what happens.
And that's a beautiful bait there. Awesome ult by the Bard, able to lock down another. Ifanol going to be using his ult and trying to flash. And that's going to be a kill by Atreyan. Atreyan accidentally clicking.
Atreyan dies inside the wall.
Atreyan was accidentally clicking. And he actually went into the magical journey there. We're going to watch that team fight again as URI picks up this easy Baron. And what I got to say is that was an amazing bait there by URI. URI was trying to bait with the Darius, and knowing that the Nautilus was sitting there in the bush, Lux easily walking out saying, hey, look it, I'm all alone. And Lukia takes the bait, and then right after the nice double stun there by Bard on Ethanol and Lukia, able to burst down both of them. A little late there with the ult by Lux, however, the Bard ult locking down Ethanol, Atreyan, and the Lucian. Lucian able to get out. Atreyan, though, accidentally clicking the magical journey and going to be dying. And a beautiful play and team fight there by URI.
And back in the live game right now, we're seeing URI currently fighting for dragon control. It looks like it has been indeed secured. Lucian will burn his ult for nothing there, and the rest of USBC will be forced off the dragon. That makes 2 dragons for both sides, with a 3K gold lead for URI.
And URI definitely getting that gold lead from that Baron. A beautiful play there. Beautiful bait by the Pre-Fanatic and the Lux. And it looks like we're having a little bit of lag issues there. Just hang tight, and we'll try to get that figured out. Hopefully it will come back to us. All right, and we're back into the game here.
All right, and we have the clash between Darius and Fiora once again. Fiora burns her ultimate on Darius, mostly just to get away. That will be down for the next fight, but it looks like URI is coming up to try to push in the top lane now, which will be a lot easier with that Fiora ultimate down.
I definitely agree with you. In URI now, with the Baron and forced minions, going to be able to easily push this lane. And URI going to be going on the 5-man offensive, and USC going on the 5-man defensive. They got the pink ward in the bush right there. Might be trying to bait here. However, URI taking a lot of poke down from those Nidalee spears and the Morgana lockdown. Morgana W easily taking down that Baron and forced cannon minion, to be in fact. And, you know, her wave clear is definitely going to help out this push to prevent URI from basically getting anything. We see Pre-Fanatic on the right side trying to lock down somebody, but he is seen by the ward at blue, and she's going to be trying a combo here, unable to do it.
Oh, Lux's burst damage with the Q and the ultimate. She takes down Nidalee and Morgana's health to almost nothing. It looks like USBC will somewhat try to go back in with Nautilus using his ultimate, but they will have to be forced back away as that Baron buff in the Fed URI team is just too much for them. They'll be knocking on the inhibitor door.
And URI able to do a lot of damage on a Trey and an Iphenol, forcing them to go back both. But now they're going to be coming back into lane full health. However, URI now also full health. And they're locking down on this inhibitor turret. Loud Ninja already doing some auto attacks. Turret now is at half health. ASCII trying to keep vision on the right side. Atreyan finally locking down somebody. Box stuff is going to be locked down, but that's a turret down now. Lukia locked down once again, and then she's going to fall to Darius. They're looking at JW and friends. JW parrying that, and Atreyan now in a little bit of trouble. There's the body slam. Deranged Tournament now pretty low health. Iphenol might be able to try to pick up a kill here. Loud Ninja now also in low health. And it looks like URI is going to be probably losing something here. And then there's the flash from Box's stuff, and they are going to be disengaging this fight. JW and friends looks like they're going to be going for the chase. Trey following right behind.
Yes, it was a good decision to back away. Lucian's ultimate just came up, and you've got 4 different members that are all extremely low. An accurate ult on any of them would have resulted in a death, and with several of them being low on mana as well, it's just not safe to keep going.
And there's a Trey in a little bit of trouble now, and she's going to be able to fall. Loud Ninja forcing the Zanyas. However, she's dead.
Yes, she is. 3-shot kill from the Vayne.
URI now taking that pretty decent lead of about 6,000 gold now. 4-12 in favor of URI. URI doing very well this game. Going to be knocking down those inhibitors very shortly. However, this is 39 minutes. One bad team fight can end it all, and we've seen that happen from URI, where they were up a way amount of kills. However, one stupid team fight, one staying too long, was the Horcrux for them, and they were able to end up losing the game, unfortunately.
Yes, we'll have to see how this goes. As long as they can keep their lead, URI should be able to take this now. Darius is a monster in team fights, and he's getting to the point where he's pretty fed. He's got 5, 2, and 3, most kills in the game, and he's pretty high on farm there as well. But they will be going after the Dragon right now, it looks like. They're setting up Vision. Dragon will be up in 2 minutes. There's been pretty fierce rivalry over that Dragon, as they're 2 and 2 for each side on the Dragon count.
Interesting thing coming in from JW and friends. He knew that there was a ZZ Rot portal somewhere over there. The ZZ Rot portal actually sitting in the tri-bush. However, she did not kill it, and that's going to continue the wave being pushed in the top lane. However, she's going to be going back. Let's see if she's able to kill that ZZ Rot portal to at least lay down the pressure a little bit in the top lane. But Darius is going to be there to defend that.
Yes, it looks like both teams will be clashing towards the middle and bottom side. Darius and Fiora both have teleport, so no advantage there. We'll have to see how they respond to a team fight engage. I feel like URI could win the 4v4, so it's more of a if Darius will respond to Fiora or if he'll be able to stop her.
Darius does have his flash down. Nautilus has his flash and exhaust down, and ASCII also has his exhaust down. Both exhausts from both teams are going to be up around the same amount of time. A small advantage in favor of USC with the flash coming up on Nautilus about 30 seconds before the box of stuff flash.
And it looks like Fiora will be backing out of there. Top lane will get shoved in again. Gragas is towards the bot side, so we don't know where that ZZ Rot portal will go next, but they have a lot of vision focus at the bottom side, so we can expect it sometime around there, especially with Dragon coming in soon. They'll want that wave to be pushed. And it looks like that's what they will likely be going for.
Fnatic looks like she's going to be trying to lock down Kim Dodo. However, Box's stuff is going to be blowing up her spot and pushing and forcing them out of lane right now. Nidalee, they're pinging Nidalee to go back. She's not listening. She's going to be warding Baron. Baron up and now in 30 seconds. Dragon up in 5. URI looks like they're going to be taking the Dragon first. USC might be trying to force something Baron here. They're in the position to do so. However, it appears that they're not going to be doing it. Instead, they're going to be pushing down mid lane. Their spooky ghosts are out. Hits Atreyan and Camodo.
And it looks like they have no idea that this is happening with the Dragon. They sacrificed Dragon for vision on Baron, and Baron's not even up yet. Just complete and total loss on their part.
And that's Cam Dono now. Going to be trying to go back manually. Very interesting technique. He was in the middle. He was at the first lane of first tier tower in the mid lane, and he walked back. I'm not really sure if that was really worth it on their part.
That was just an immersion thing. Fast traveling isn't very, very immersive, you know?
I guess not. Deranged Tournament ASCII in the enemy jungle once again, trying to set up a Baron fight here.
It looks like URI has the better vision control. and them being ahead as well and doing so well in the jungle with the Darius pull, with the Bard Q and ultimate Lux's root. They have so much better team fight in the jungle. It's just a matter of seeing if they can pull them into the jungle.
And this definitely has been a game of vision. A lot of pink wards being bought from URI. Interesting to see how many pink wards they have at the end of this game.
Yes, they've had several times now where I've looked at their items and seen pink wards down the entire line. They have been keeping perfect vision, and it looks like they're doing so mostly now.
And to be fair, Ifanol and Cam Dono also carrying a nice amount of pink wards. However, we are seeing more pink wards coming in from URI. Bard and Gragas currently have a pink ward. However, I have seen pink wards on the Lux and the Darius as well. Excuse me.
Yep, and it looks like it's remaining as just a duel of vision currently to see who runs out of pink wards first. There's still dancing around Baron in the mid lane, as Baron is the only objective worth being concerned about for either team right now.
URI wants to play this safe. They do not want to lose another easy game. They don't want to be the Dignitas of the collegiate tournament.
Oh, they do not need to force anything right now. They have a better late game. They have better jungle fighting. They can stay relaxed and force USBC to either back off or engage. Either way, they lose.
And here's
and
the
it looks
Baron
like Baron is started.
Yep,
They're going to burn that down very fast, and it looks like USBC has no vision of this, so they don't even know it's happening right now. This is going to be a clean take unless Nidalee can get in at the last second.
Pre-Fnatic's going to be wasted, though, with the Nidalee lockdown. URI in a little bit of a trouble situation here. Deranged Hermit, Loud Ninja. Morgana's going to be picking up a kill. However, Nautilus is going to be falling now. Loud Ninja able to take down more people. However, he's going to be falling now.
And
that's
looks like
going to be JW
URI
and
is going to be
friends.
cleanly taken out with only a few losses from USBC. Bard will get away, so they will preserve the Baron buff, but only for one lane. However, USBC is going to have to take this middle inhib, maybe, and back off right away, as they have top and bot lanes pushing with minions, and bot tower has almost no health left. It has 115 health. If the minions get to it, that tower will go down.
Unfortunately, URI lost their game the other week by doing the same exact thing. They lost on a Baron fight, staying too long. Death timers are very long right now. They got 3-man pushing. Bard, unable to probably defend himself. However, they're going to back off, give URI a second chance. They want to play safe too. They do not want to throw this game.
Yep, and it looks like bot lane actually will not be able to push in favor of URI, so that tower won't be going down, and it will slowly tick away its health back to full.
And we see URI coming up. Pre-Fnatic now up. Deranged Hermit, Loud Ninja coming up in 5. Box of stuff up in 10 seconds. Cam Dono picking up their red buff. Blue buff is available right now. URI still nice ward coverage with the 2 pinks in the enemy jungle. Blue is able to be seen. Lux going to be trying to take her blue as it's coming up in just a moment here.
Yeah, that was the worst thing that could have happened for URI there. They got the Baron buff, which was great, but they lost a lot of their damage instantly, and they had nothing to do once the enemy team was on top of them, as their disengage is rather non-existent once the fight starts.
Pre-Fnatic picking up his blue. URI don't want to throw this game now. Only up by 3.5 thousand gold. And Darius trying to push in his lane once again. These easy rot portal being used in Gragas now. In the bottom lane, going to be trying to push it out.
And 3.5 thousand gold does sound like a lot, generally speaking, but we're now up to the point to where we're hitting 75,000 to 80,000 gold mark. These gold differences don't make as much of a difference anymore, and we may or may not be seeing that turnaround for USBC, maybe an anime comeback even.
Asking in a little bit of trouble, going to be taking the magical journey, and he's going to be able to get out. Lukia not following up. And Lukia actually going to be able to take out that ward that Bard was actually trying to kill.
Yeah, and it's just the battle of the vision game. We still see a lot of really great jungle fighting on URI team. If they can get the right kind of engagement, they can absolutely win any one of these team fights. We'll just have to see how that goes.
And they're in a delicate dance now. The Baron buff now going to be fading for Bard, the only person that has it. And it's actually going to be gone now. And URI going to be trying to push down this middle lane, but as we talked about in the pregame lobby, Cam Dono, a lot of wave clear coming in from USC as they try to push back this lane, forcing URI to back off here. Aski might be trying to bait something as Lukia going to be trying to hit his depth charges, but as we've seen today, not very good at hitting those depth charges.
Yes, and it looks like Nidalee is going to go back to farming. URI has perfect vision over the dragon, but it looks like they may be pulling back for now. And USBC is going to go back to the blue side of the map and just push out top, I suppose. They're not going to try to take anything out of pushing URI away. And URI is still going to get that dragon despite being forced back.
And this is a big dragon. This is dragon number 4. This says to USC, you give us another dragon, we're going to have the burning power of the dragon. All effects are now doubled if they get that last dragon. USC also has a ZZ Rot portal in the bot lane, and USC picking up a tower kill in the top lane. And this looks like this is going to be a base race.
It looks like this is going to be a much better base race for URI, though, as they have a lot more tower pushing power with that Vayne.
Also, URI notices that tower really doesn't have that much health yet. It's about 2 hits from the Vayne, and USC trying to defend it desperately. Darius going to be meeting up JW and Friends. JW and Friends with the Guardian Angel. An interesting pick there for the Fiora. However, Fiora is doing quite a bit of damage. She is the damage of the team, and she wants to be safe.
Yes, it's actually very important that she has that anyway. She only has that one riposte, and riposte was recently nerfed, if you remember. It doesn't come up as often as it used to. So if she gets into a bad situation with that Darius, with the Vayne catch, with anything, she's going to need that extra life in a team fight.
Right, you are an elixir of iron on the Darius. Baron coming up now in about 2 minutes. Loud Ninja trying to push out the mid lane just a little bit. He's got minions knocking down, and we're about to hit the 50-minute mark here. This definitely looks like the Dignitas game that we saw yesterday.
Yes, and as I had said, this is going to be a long-term game. It looks like we may be going to almost full item builds on everybody, as it's overall been a very slow and hesitant game when the team fights aren't happening. Not a whole lot of 1 or 2 man catches at all to be going on. Very safe with the vision.
And we're definitely going to see players starting to get their full build. Vayne just trying to pick up that QSS now to stop anything that comes in from USC. Going to be trying to stop maybe the Q on the Morgana, the engage attempt, or even possibly the ult from the Nautilus. Nautilus caught out now. Deranged Hermit going to be easily taking him down. Darius, the Bard ult wasted, however. And that's going to be a tower for URI.
That will be Nautilus going down, making it a 4v5 when they're already down on gold. That doesn't make things easy for them at all. In fact, Morgana looks like she may be getting caught out here. That's the flash burn. And her look like her black shield will actually save her from any incoming CC. But the top lane inhib will go down regardless.
Yes, URI with the nice fight there. Baron at 40 seconds. Lukia comes up in 30. They're unable to get this Baron probably right away. However, if they're going to back, then heal up. Aski in a little bit of trouble with the failed flash. Aski's going to be falling down. Very poor play there by Aski and URI Royals. Now the advantage goes to USC in about 10 seconds when they have a 50-second time frame where it is 5v4 and Baron's going to be coming up. However, Eifenrod going to be trying to get bursted down here by the Lux. Unable to do so. Lux unable to kill Eifenrod because he is so tanky.
And Darius uses the teleport to go down to the bot lane, so now he doesn't have a way back to the Baron pit. And it looks like USBC will be ready for this Baron, with URI missing their support and their top laner now far away with no teleport.
Deranged Hermit, a little bit of trouble now. He's all alone. Darius unable to kill him, and now JW and Friends taking the 1v1 solo with the Vayne, and Vayne might be trying to take him down. That's a Baron picked up from Lucian in the USC. And there's the GA Pock, and JW and Friends is going to be falling down to the Vayne very shortly.
Ooh, she may get away here. It looks like she actually has the chance.
However, Pre-Fnatic going to be falling now. Both Pre-Fnatic and Deranged Hermit going to be down just to JW and Friends. Aski coming up now in about 3 seconds. They have that Baron buff, though. Now only down by 2,000 gold is USC. USC going to be trying to come back here. This is definitely a comeback game from both sides. Both sides down at some point and then coming back.
Yes, and we'll have to see how that goes for USBC. Both teams have absolute 100% chance of winning a team fight. That's no doubt. It's just a matter of execution and who gets caught first. But Bard Ultimate will be wasted for nothing, and the middle inhibitor will go down. It looks like USBC will be able to claim total vision of red team's jungle as well as to possibly take their blue buff.
A double ZZ Rot portal in the base there by the USC. However, if we look in the top lane, there's a huge minion wave pushing down, knocking down their door, and we don't see anybody going back. Cam Dono, Lukia, Ifanol, and Atreyan all in the mid lane. JW and friends, though, coming up in about 5 seconds, and that Baron Enhanced Recall will probably prevent any other further towers being destroyed at the Nexus.
But the damage the super minions are doing to that tower, it doesn't look like that tower is going to go down, but it's going to lose a lot of its health, making it a big vulnerability if URI can win a team fight.
And right you are. Everybody going back with the Baron Enhanced Recall. The Dragon number 5 might be coming up for URI here in about 50 seconds. USC definitely needs to defend this. They have the advantage. They are going to have the Baron for this Dragon fight.
But we're going to have to see how much that Baron actually does, the Dragon will actually do for them, as they've now lost the team fight directly after a Baron, and Dragon's not a whole lot better. We're going to have to see if they actually can do something with that 5th Dragon, or if it'll be all for naught.
And we see USC pinging that Dragon, saying, we need this one. URI also needs it. Deranged Hermit trying to push out that bottom lane, trying to pressure. Fiora in the top lane, however, she does have teleport available. She's able to go down there as well as a train, also with the teleport up. But she's going to be quite close to the team fight. They're going to be killing down these pink wards, killing down the vision. And URI has to initiate, and they have to initiate fast if they want this Dragon.
It looks like they're actually going to have an advantage in the fight itself. Fiora's Guardian Angel was popped. Darius just picked one up, so now he's tankier and has a second life. He's going to get a flash engage with his hook. And it looks like Kando will go down. And,
Very amazing team fight here by URI. That's a 3-0. They're picking up Dragon number 5. They're going to be trying to knock down and end this game. They have the time. Each person down 60 seconds. They're going to be recalling, playing this save, healing up, and then pushing down this mid lane. However, URI's mid lane is also being pushed down quite a bit by those super minions, rather, not Baron minions. And the ZZ Route portal forcing down the bottom lane. They're going to be able to try to push here. And JW and friends now out a little bit too far. And Box of Stuff going to be trying to come up fast. However, they're going to be able to disengage here and knock down this tower. This tower still has very low health, as we've seen before. And they're going to be able to knock this one down, pick up their second inhibitor. However, that mid inhibitor is pretty far away. The lane minion's pretty far away from the mid inhibitor. They're probably not going to be able to pick up that one unless one of them tanks. And it looks like Box of Stuff going to be trying to tank here. So Loud Ninja can take down this tower pretty fast. Bard and Deranged Tournament now joining up.
That is a dead tower for sure. Darius is so tanky at this point in time. He's got full items. He's got that Guardian Angel. 3 of his items are tank. That he doesn't care about that tower at all. And that will be all 3 inhibitors going down. As long as they don't manage to throw like they've done in a few fights here, URI might be taking down USBC tutorial style.
And actually, USC's inhibitor, top inhibitor, is actually going to be coming up now. And now they are down down 2 inhibitors only. However, URI wants that inhibitor. They want the pressure. However, this might be a questionable team fight. We've seen some stupid plays before. Lukia being locked down along with JW and friends. Lukia also locked down once again, and it looks like we're going to have a fight for the game here. Ethanol knocked down the Nidalee. Amazing knockback right there. However, Deranged Term is going to be falling. Box of Stuff now with the Guardian Angel. He's going to be in trouble, and he's going to be falling almost immediately. Camono wasting the ult on him. However, once again, JW and friends now going to be falling. Lukia going to be falling shortly after, and that's a clean ace there. Oh, I'm sorry. Atreyan did make it out of that fight alive.
And Darius managed to survive there with all of that sustain. He was knocked down to only a few hundred health and managed to keep himself alive and take down the Lucian in the process. That looks like that is game for URI, taking the game over USBC today.
And that's going to be a 56-33 minute game, and that is game for URI, winning series 1-0.
It almost looked like they were going to throw there, but they managed to keep it in the end. And looks like it's a good day for URI.
Indeed, you're right. And we're just going to take a look at these stats here. So let's go over to damage first. Damage dealt. We have Lucian with the most amount of damage on the team. In fact, Nidalee also with a lot of damage. However, the Lux and the Vayne, the carries, the hyper carries of URI's composition, able to carry out this one to win the game. Darius also with a commendable amount of damage. And it's actually quite amazing if you look at this chart because Bard and Gragas both did, not too much damage. They were actually out damaged by USC.
But if you look at the damage from the Nautilus, he did almost nothing. He only did 6,000 damage compared to Bard's 12,000. That is twice as much as the Nautilus did, and that's support to support. So that's a big shortcoming for the Nautilus, though we did see him miss a lot of those anchor tosses.
Definitely a great game that we just had. USC putting up a valiant fight. Probably one of the best collegiate games we've seen in a while. And we're going to be actually going into the game now. We're just going to stand by, take a short little break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome, everybody. Unknown Reality here with my good friend Lucas, Saber of Spades. Lucas, we had a great game last time. URI actually pulling it out in a 54-minute game, and we're going into game 2 now in the Champ Select.
Yep, and we'll have to see what they go for bans this time. Last time around, what's USBC, which is now on the red side, had managed to get very quick bans out there, knowing what they went for, but still not really getting what they wanted in the end, it seems. We'll have to see how quick they are about it this time around, now that they have Darius and things of that nature to worry about.
And right you are there. And we're going to be seeing the same ban coming in from URI last game. We see the Uder ban.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they want to deal with that at all right now. Uder is very fast and very oppressive when it comes to his presence in lane ganks. So it's an understandable threat.
And the Lux ban now coming in from USC. That's going to be a target ban against Pre-Fnatic, doing a lot of damage with the burst coming in from Lux on Pre-Fnatic. And, they don't want to deal with that ever again.
No, after seeing some of the damage that Lux did to a couple of them, it's definitely an understandable ban. She's a little bit oppressive in this meta with the Thunderlords, making her three-hit combo so much more potent.
Now Lux, I'm actually main Lux, and my Lux is amazing. But that's besides the point. Lux is a great champion. Her burst is amazing. Her lockdown is amazing. Everything about her is amazing. She's definitely one of the underrated champions for a while until she just started showing up in the LCS. And now that she's in the LCS, I'm a little afraid that she's going to be nerfed fairly shortly. Soraka ban coming in from URI, Master E ban coming in once again from USC, and Nautilus now being banned from URI, and finishing off with a Janna from USC.
Yes, it'll be good to see what they do this time around. If we'll see another Morgana from USC, and if what will be played against that. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more exciting than the slow poke lane of last. We'll have to see what they pick as they go. As bans are now finished here, and we'll start to see what those teams are going to be made of.
Right, you are. Time's ticking down, 30 seconds. And once again, there's the Deranged Hermits, Gragas. Once again, if we just want to refresh to those new viewers that we have, Gragas, it has a 59% win rate and a 3.89 KDA with Deranged Hermit. Deranged Hermit going in the jungle once again with the Gragas.
And it looks like we're going to see All-Star possibly for the other team. The All-Star is very powerful in this meta. I'm seeing it all over the place, no matter what team is playing it. Although I'm not seeing All-Star for any stats on their support here. So, it's going to be a somewhat new pick for them, and that will be locked in along with the Malphite. It looks like they're going for heavy tank engage.
A lot of armor coming in for University of Southern California Team B. And that's going to be quite interesting to see how Loud Ninja 1 definitely handles that. However, if he is able to get his Vanies, can definitely be able to put down that true damage and ignore all of that tank.
The question will be if he'll be able to tumble away from that Malphite All-Star engage. That's incredibly hard to deal with and very oppressive.
Oh, but Pre-Fnatic finally gets his Azir. That's definitely going to be a lock-in coming in from Pre-Fnatic. Pre-Fnatic is amazing with Azir. Most of his games are actually with Azir and finally able to play him. And look I'm even saying Azir properly. Azir, not Azir.
Oh, yeah, that is rather impressive. You're finally getting around to the right way to pronounce his name.
You're right, and that's a 56% win rate. However, he does have over 100 games with Azir, and that's a 3.13 KDA. Very nice stats coming in with Pre-Fnatic, and that's going to be locked in. Deranged Tournament picking up the Thresh for ASCII in the bottom lane.
It looks like we're probably not going to see a Morgana in this situation. Not again. They have enough lockdown with the All-Star and the Malphite, and with an Azir, Morgana would be relatively struggling in the mid lane as she can't really contend with those soldiers. But we're going to see a Nocturne locked in as well as a Kalista. Possibly that Kalista All-Star, unless we end up seeing All-Star go top, but that's unlikely. But Nocturne, I haven't seen that in quite a while. I guess that's kind of the replacement for the Udyr.
JW and friends, not a lot of games played with the Nocturne. However, one thing that I'm seeing on the red side, on the purple side rather, from University of Southern California, is a lot of knockups. And when I see knockups, I think of one mid champion that hasn't been picked yet.
Veigar.
What? No, that'd be the
Yasuo.
That'd be the Yasuo, and I'm kind of expecting a Yasuo pick coming in here from University of Southern California. Loud Ninja going to be picking up the Jhin in the mid lane. I'm sorry, in 80 carry. Jhin is a pretty OP character right now. He has a 52% win rate and a 3.03 KDA with Jhin. Box of stuff, being able to pick up the Mundo will actually be pretty beneficial towards URI. And that's actually going to be an Orianna. That's more knockups. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, they're going to have a whole lot of knockups and no Yasuo to mix with it. I'm guessing that's the Nocturne in the jungle. With this many knockups, having a knockup in literally every lane, this is a situation where the jungle Yasuo could actually excel. But they're going to go for that Nocturne jungle. They have a lot of CC overall and a lot of burst with that Orianna ultimate, with the Malphite ultimate, with Kallista's Rend. This is a very burst down and catch kind of team with a lot of tank to back it up.
It'd definitely be interesting to see how they chain these CCs together, which would be vital for their team because also a lot of damage coming in with Pre-Fnatic and Loud Ninja with the range, able to probably, I think his a few of Loud Ninja's Jin's abilities outrange Malphite's ultimate, so he's able to do some damage away from the fear of a knockup.
Thankfully, they have a decent amount of tank on their team to deal with this burst. But if the Jin gets caught out, if the Azir gets caught out, they pretty much are going to die. There's two different ways for the Orianna to get a free ultimate with the Malphite ult or the Alistar WQ combo, or even the Nocturne's ultimate or the Callista ultimate. So there's so many ways to get that free ult for the Orianna. They're going to have to deal with some serious team fight issues, especially in areas like the jungle.
Yep, and you're right, definitely right with that. And if we take a look at the summoner spells, now that we're in the delay period, and we can talk about it because both teams are able to hear and see the summoner spells, so we don't really want to point too much attention to that. But during the delay, we can. Now, Pre-Fnatic actually going to be carrying Cleanse now. He's got a lot of things to cleanse, though, so it's going to be interesting to see what he actually uses that on. If they chain CC him, that Cleanse is going to be pretty pointless.
Yeah, that cleanse can go towards the Orianna ultimate in his lane, the Nocturne, Fear, and friggin' honestly, that cleanse doesn't help with much else though, as the burst from Malphite and Orianna is enough that even with it cleansed, he could possibly still die. The burst kind of makes that cleanse a little rough to use situationally, depending on the catch. But they have really great disengage with the Gragas dealing with things like the Alistar, so hopefully things will go smoothly for them.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see. Once again, the double teleport coming in with Atrayan and JW and friends. There's a lot of knockup power, and an easy combo there. All Malphite has to do is ult in with the Orianna shield, and then she ults, and then they're locked down for 2 seconds. They're knocked up for 2 seconds, and if Alistar's there, then it's just about over at this point.
Absolutely. I want to look at that Malphite versus Mundo matchup. That looks like it's going to be very slow. But they have a lot of like going where they please situation going on, not just for that Mundo, but for the Malphite as well. There's a heavy amount of tank. But there's a lot of magic damage on the URI's team, so the Malphite kind of is defeated in a way.
I have to point out that you just made a freak joke with the Mundo going where he pleases. So,
of course, that was.
I don't want you to come at me again. All right. But yeah, definitely a lot of knockups and a lot of CC coming in from University of Southern California. And on blue side, we have a lot of disengages, a lot of protection from whatever knockups they come in. Pre-Fnatic able to do a lot of damage at a high range. Jin, same thing, a lot of damage at a high range. Strange Hermit, he had first pick, so we really don't expect him to be able to counter the enemy team. Box of Stuff, though, with pretty tanky, and no ignites coming in from the University of Southern California, so that's going to be very unfortunate. Definitely going to be needed picking up a Morel and Omicron coming in for Trayan. And ASCII with the Thresh is going to be able to flay almost any engage coming in for Alistar.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad to not see the Bard this time around, as champions like Alistar and Malphite don't really get hurt by that ultimate he has. But the Thresh is really great here, because he can peel off as soon as either of them go in, as where they go when they engage is rather predictable.
Yes, you are, and we're going to actually be loading in here. Let's see if we see another pause in a game. I doubt it, but, it's possible.
You never know.
It's possible.
Keep up the pauses just for tradition's sake.
For those of you just joining the stream, this is game number 2. This is a best of 2 series. URI taking game number 1, and going to be trying here for game number 2 in another sweep on another team. URI 9-2 now, only losing to, I believe it was University of South Carolina. So both USC teams, University of Southern California and University of South Carolina, have played URI. However, University of South Carolina was able to best URI in this series, 2-0.
Yeah, it can be. It seems like it'll be a little tough differentiating between them with the very close set of letters that they have.
Yeah, you have USC B and then you have USC. So
Yeah.
It's weird though. University of South Carolina is actually, I'm sorry, University of Southern California is actually playing in the East range. There's two divisions in this tournament. There's the West Division and the East Division. Last time I checked, California was actually in the West. I haven't actually taken a geography class in quite a while, so I'm not entirely sure about the accuracy of those.
Oh yeah, the San Andreas Fault. It floated around to the other side. It's on the East Coast now. Rhode Island's now inland. It's a recent change that they did with the last update.
Yeah, I didn't actually see it. And URI paying for an invade here once again. However, it looks like Callista and the Nocturne are going to be taking a little while to get out of base. Callista's still in base, and she still actually has her kill move. I don't know what it's really called. Let's see what it's called. She still has her the Black Spear available to kill the Alistar, and she's going to be late to the fight.
She's heading out of the fountain now. It looks like URI will be waiting long enough to go in that she'll be able to catch up in time. Though they will spot the Nocturne and know where he's going to go.
And they're getting down that early ward coverage, as we talked about last game. USC wasting 2 wards. URI going to be using the 1 to get vision of Gromp and Blue all in one compact little ward.
But it doesn't look like USC is going to get any of deep wards of their own. So in the end, URI with the vision advantage.
And look at
Malphite's just going to sit under the tower.
And look at the BM coming in from ASCII in Deranged Tournament, spamming those mastery emotes. Mundo going now top lane. I don't really like mastery emotes. I feel like they're very cocky, and it's like some people actually like spam the crap out of them. It's very douchey.
I only have one champion, Mastery 5. I'm trying to avoid getting Mastery 5 on any more until the those Hextech crate things come out.
I think you'll get them if you just play one game with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, but the Mastery 5 I generally always use just for when somebody was a jerk and I had to tell them how good I am.
Who's your Mastery 5 on?
That would be Fiora, my favorite champion in all of existence right now. With that bullshit riposte.
I think I have Mastery on 3. I have it on Blitzcrank, Sona, and Lux.
Yeah, you are the support player after all.
No, I quit support.
You quit support, so you playing Blitzcrank mid now?
No Blitzcrank. Just a lot of Lux mid.
There you go.
And
you have to 1v1 me sometime.
I don't know about that, because Fiora definitely outbeats a Lux.
Oh, not with Fiora. I played mid lane, too.
Cloud Ninja and ASCII trying to get down a lockdown with the Q coming in from ASCII. However, he's going to be missing it. I don't know if it's the blue side bot lane that's having some difficulty hitting their hooks today.
It's going to be interesting seeing the Jhin versus Callista, honestly. Callista is extremely mobile and dashes around, and until Jhin starts getting those constant crits from full item builds, he's going to be rather stagnant in terms of his movement speed. So we'll have to see how that goes, and if Alistar and Callista will be able to make that catch at level 6 that we're hoping for.
And it looks like Ithanol going to be trying to engage on this Mundo at half health. Not really sure if that was worth it at all, but it happened.
Definitely not. All that did was actually give URI the information they needed to keep pushing the bot side. They don't even need to place a ward now to know that they're safe.
For those of you keeping track at home, that's now 2 Thunderlords procs from the Azir.
I thought we weren't going to be counting the Thunderlord procs.
No, we're not. ASCII with a questionable Q. Nowhere even close to Camdono or Lucia. And if we're just looking at the CS right now, a very short lead in favor of URI. In the bottom lane, we are at 17-24, actually USC winning, which is quite surprising because the Callista is actually being pushed up at almost every weight.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'd have to assume that the Jace would just be missing some of those minions with that reload time. It's rather hard to time that early on, especially because he doesn't do quite enough damage to always kill the minion.
And we're actually looking up into the top lane, and we're seeing Mundo with a very short lead of about 5 CS. In the mid lane as well, only about a 5 CS advantage for URI. So that's where URI is making up that gold now, up by 300. And also in the jungle, Gragas at 16 and Nocturne at 16. So not a lot of gold differential there. However, it looks like URI is going to be taking the Scuttle Crab, which is actually worth a lot of gold for an early game.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty healthy boost to your income and experience, especially considering you take no damage and can just regen in the process. But it looks like Deranged Hermit's just going to head down towards the bot side. That Scuttle won't be used for any kind of Scuttle Rift Herald control as we speak.
And looking towards the mid lane now, as if we just take a look at the mid lane real fast, both of them really have about the same amount of minions. However, you see a 7 minion advantage in favor of the Azir at URI. And I only feel like this lead is actually going to increase because Azir is able to poke down the Orianna. Now Orianna going back. However, Pre-Fnatic, full mana, full health. You know, this lane is definitely in favor of Pre-Fnatic, and it's his to lose.
But it looks like bot lane is going to be engaged on URI having to retreat now as Alistar went in and caught them both with his ground pound. It looks like they will get away though. Nocturne did show up to the fight and took a little damage, but otherwise only showed his hand and allowed Box of Stuff to keep pushing in the top lane, feeling safe.
A very close Ren there. ASCII almost actually falling down and missing the hook by a mile once again is ASCII. Deranged Hermit trying to fight something there. And it's actually going to be a flash burn on ASCII. No summoners are being... Oh, I'm sorry. Just the exhaust burned from the Alistar. I call that a fair trade. You know, for a 3-0 gank, you also wasted a little bit of Nocturne's time, which is always good.
Yep, and it looks like up in the top lane, Mundo is going to keep pressuring this Malphite. He's 15 CS ahead now. J&W and Friends is really going to be suffering in the early game until he can start to build up some tank and deal with that constant cleaver harass from the Mundo.
I think URI definitely has the lane game. However, as soon as laning's done, that's when the real challenge happens. That's when they can chain CC all of URI in one fail swoop.
Yeah, the Malphite Alistar is what we're really going to be having to keep an eye out for, as that's their main engage and CC. Nocturne can engage, but he's going to be pretty squishy early on, as he has to build some damage to do really much of anything.
And if you look towards the bot lane, actually, Loud Ninja actually coming back quite a bit in the CS, only down by 7 now. But in the mid lane is Pre-Fnatic increasing his lead now by 10. Oh, so many names to remember.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough keeping up, but I mean, you can only do your best. There's too many things to talk about at once, and that's why there's 2 of us. As we're seeing now, the top lane is still remaining pressured. There's been no kind of harassment from Nocturne except for that one time where he just walked in and took damage. It looks like Malphite's going to be pretty much on an island just dealing with this harass for the majority of lane.
Camdono actually taking a lot of damage here. Loud Ninja trying to fight here, and can Loud Ninja finish either of them off? No. But a very nice play there by URI, being able to lock down both of them individually, do damage, was able to burn the flash on the Alistar. However, both summoners are up on Camdono, and that heal, if in fact Loud Ninja did try to dive there, he probably would have died. And there's the curtain call.
Comes out. The third shot misses,
and
that will guarantee Alistar's safety.
Camdono barely out of range on that ult.
Looks like both sides of bot lane will be backing with the URI's minions pushing down that tower just a little bit, and that will help to keep farm even now with Jhin only down 2 farm to Callista's 60.
And we can see that now with the 600, about 600 gold lead coming in on URI. It's small, but you know, at this time rate, it's huge. To quote Donald Trump. Huge.
And we don't need to be bringing in any politics into the stream, just like what happened today on League of Legends Riot's official stream. But it looks like Deranged Hermit will be waiting for a possible gank. He's going in now on the Orianna. We'll have to see if he can use his explosive cask. She will flash out of it and be casked to safety. Orianna will make it out alive, but will lose her flash in the process.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty even trade though. Gragas no explosive cask now, so he doesn't really have the lane advantage. I'm sorry, he doesn't really have the gank advantage right now. However, the big flash coming in from Oriana, it's down now for 5 minutes, and deranged hermits. Oh, there it is. There's the
And there's
pause.
the
All right,
pause.
that's 4 games in a row, everybody. We should start.
That's five now. Last game was four, you said.
Oh yeah, is it 4? Yeah, you're right. It's 5. This is the 5th game in a row. Congratulations, everybody.
Clapping all around.
All right, welcome to game number 5 of a pause. The pause was actually initiated on. Hold on, why is
It looks like Gragas ended up disconnecting temporarily. He's coming back in now, so we'll see the pause end most likely in the next 20 seconds or so. But while we have the minute, the Mundo lane with Malphite seems to have changed a little bit. Malphite's starting to deal back the damage, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit more even. He's starting to slowly catch up on farm.
However, he still has a 15 CS advantage in the top lane, and we can definitely see that. URI only up by 300 gold, but once again, all the little gold advantages definitely helps in the early game. Last game, we say only 3,000. 3,000 would be a lot if it was at this time, but we're talking 45, 50 minutes. 3,000 gold, not really that much. It's not scaling to the amount of time frame that it is, but 300 gold, that's about equivalent to 3,000 gold in last game. So not a lot, but something to look into.
Yes, and it looks like they're going to be starting it now. We're seeing people saying to go. So we're going to see things come back together. Bot lane just got back to their lanes now, so we're going to be able to see how that goes once more after USBC just got pushed out.
Box of stuff haven't used his ult because of the damage coming in from JW and friends. The Bomby's Cinder and the Chainmail from the Malphite is able to put down enough damage to force Mundo to rethink his strategy.
And it looks like Nocturne is going to be towards the bottom side of the map. Ifanol looking to put a little bit of pressure, but only clearing a ward and backing back out.
You know what I haven't heard in a while? And like a legitimate while? Darkness. I need to hear darkness.
Just a little bit of darkness in our lives. It'll come around soon. He does have his level 6. He's level 7, in fact, and he's sitting here watching the bot lane. Kalista will fling All-Star in, and it looks like ASCII will be caught out.
We're going to be trying to queue away here, but ASCII unable to escape safely, and that's going to be first blood going towards USC. USC did pick up first blood last game. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know who picked up. Yeah, USC did pick up first blood.
I believe it was URI, I think. No, it's Fiora got it. Yeah, so USC did get first blood. We'll see if the trend continues with getting first blood and losing. Something that's notorious in LCS.
Although they did get first blood, the gold is tied because of all the CS advantages in the lanes.
But it looks like Mundo and Gragas are going to be taking Rift Herald right now. So that's going to be going over to URI. It doesn't look like anybody is around to contest, nor does USC have vision of it. And that'll most likely be going on top of the Mundo.
Right, yep. You are now only 100 gold lead in URI's favor. And the teleport down on the Oriana is going to be huge. That's going to be able to provide some sort of safety. And now USC trying to go for the Dragon #1 now. And
not a lot. They have perfect control on this. URI has no vision of it. They have an inkling. And Thresh just put down that ward, but it doesn't look like they're going to get that. No. Ifanol will take that with his smite, and that will go over Herald for Dragon.
Box of stuff in a little bit of trouble here, taking quite a bit of damage. The curtain call is made by Loud Ninja, however, he's unable to pick it up and he cancels.
Is there does he get a shortened cooldown on the curtain call if he cancels it, or is that full cooldown?
I believe it's full cooldown.
Yes, he's got 80 seconds on it right now. That's a little rough.
I know if he doesn't fire any shots, it's only a certain amount, but I don't know. It might actually scale with the amount of bullets that he fires. I'm not entirely sure.
Something to look at for another time, I suppose. It's quite interesting how this lane has completely changed around at the top lane. Mundo was in an incredibly favorable position, and now even with the Herald buff, he's still being shoved into his tower, and he has less health than the Malphite.
CS lead increases to 19 against the Malphite. You can't ignore that. They're doing quite a bit of damage. 10 CS lead is pretty stagnant now in the mid lane, and it looks like Azir and Gragas are going to be stealing enemies' blue buff here.
Yep, and it looks like Grox is actually heading down towards the bottom side, but he will be spotted out by that ward, so USBC will be playing that safe. And it's just a game of vision once again, stopping anything from happening.
However, a lot of damage going in on this Orianna. Orianna now down to only 300 health.
But it looks like Malphite has just pulled out of the top lane, unable to deal with Mundo after he used his health, and that will be teleport going down for the Malphite. And Nocturne burning his ult for nothing, unfortunately, as Azir manages to get away.
Nocturne is also going to be using his ult with, and that's a beautiful play by Pre-Fnatic, picking up the kill, but he's going to be dying to the tower in the middle of that. However, that is 2 ults burned on USC's side. Atreyan and the Orianna also use the ult to try to follow up. However, Pre-Fnatic uses Cleanse to get out of that.
And it looks like it'll be 1-for-1 in the mid lane. A little bit of excitement for us, but still nothing too much. Nocturne will clean up some minions, shove out the tower, shove out the lane, and probably go take red buff afterwards.
And Lucia and Camdono trying to take advantage of this bottom lane. 122 to 107. They are doing it, up by 15 CS. However, in the top lane, we see a massive lead, 23 now for the Mundo. And in the middle, we see up by 13 is, once again, URI. So those leads are just canceling each other out, as well as the 2 kills coming in compared to just the 1 for USC. And that's why we're seeing only a less than 100 gold difference for both teams.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to just see Malphite and Mundo trading back and forth. Nocturne was in the river, but he doesn't seem interested in ganking right now. He did just use his ultimate, and he's really squishy. It's possible he could just die if he went into the top lane for a gank.
And if we're looking on USC's items build, we see 2 Swifties right off the bat for the Malphite and the Orianna. They want these engages, and they are going to definitely need that ability power. I'm sorry,
but
the
it looks
movement
like we
speed.
have a hook in the bot lane. ASCII making the grab. We have Deranged Hermit there to follow up. We have 3 men in the bot lane. Current Call will be used, but it looks like it's canceled as, unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication with the Gragas and the Jhin results in an explosive cast, knocking the enemies out of the general.
However, Loud Ninja still picking up the kill. They traded the Camdono for the Lucia, and I gotta say, that's a better alternative was to kill Camdono compared to Lucia, because they need that CS advantage, and that's going to knock her out of lane for quite a while. Going to be able to pick up that bottom tower, so it's going to extend the lead now to let's say 1.1000 in favor of URI, which is a pretty decent lead at 15 minutes.
That's right, and it looks like Jhin will only be 4 CS behind now, so with that tower and the local gold, he's now caught up. He is just about dead even in gold, 5,350 on both ADCs.
There you are, JW and friends taking quite a bit of damage in the top lane. Mundo showing his advantage, up by 20 now. We have Atreyan trying to take a lot of hits here. Eifenal wants to do something. He's going to be able to take a tower hit. Eifenal wants an engage here, but Deranged Hermit is close nearby, and that wouldn't be a good idea for USC.
See, the worst thing here for Eifenal, part of why I'm somewhat questioning this Nocturne pick, is with the Mundo being so tanky, with the Azir having his ultimate so he can just shove away Eifenal as soon as he jumps in, with the bot lanes CC and engage, it's just hard for Nocturne to do anything against this team, and I'm really starting to see a problem with its choice, and possibly the reason why they might even lose this game if he can't get tanky enough to deal with them.
And Malphite barely getting out of that fight alive. Unfortunately, Current Call was not up, so he was unable to be able to take that kill.
Yeah, it looks like Rift Herald going over to URI. Once again, Jhin will get that buff, and they will most likely be shoving in the mid lane now as there's nobody to help. And USBC is taking the bot side tower.
Yep, that's going to be an easy mid tower. Orianna backing off. She doesn't want to have anything to do with this. She does not want to be the person to give up a kill for USC on URI.
That's right, and it looks like it'll be tower for tower, but with that Rift Herald advantage. We'll have to see if URI can get a second tower, or if it'll just be an even trade.
Nocturne using his ability. using his block, and that's Eifenol now in a little bit of trouble. There's the flash, and explosive cast is going to isolate Eifenol. Eifenol now falling down. Lucia now and also in a little bit of trouble. Not going to be able to his ult is not going to be able to save him. And that's going to be a kill going on Jin and Loud Ninja 1. URI taking a second tower. 4-2 now, up by 4,000 gold. This is a massive lead now in favor of URI.
That's right, and now we're going to see them pulling back. They have Dragon completely within their grasp. It doesn't look like USBC can contest, as they do not have a jungler or even a full team to work with. Their blue buff is going to get taken, their vision is going to get cleared, and Dragon's going to go with it unless they can get a good engage. This is 3v5, but it looks like they're interested.
Yep, and Nocturne and Alistar are pretty far away. Malphite, though, wants to make something out of this. However, you know, that trap is going to be able to slow him down and scare him away. ASCII burning his ult now just to keep him away. And they're going to be able to take that dragon pretty easily and back off.
And that'll be one dragon for both sides now. But URI with a 4K gold lead, 3 towers over them. It looks like they've got this game under control, but so did last game until they started making mistakes. We'll have to see if they can keep things together this time around.
I definitely have to agree with you. URI cannot get cocky here, but this is their biggest lead that they've seen tonight. Deranged Termic in a questionable position with a lot of the knockups, and there's Malphite's ult, and there's the questionable the questionable move that I was talking about. Loud Ninja now pretty low on health, going to be able to lock down the Lucia, and he's going to fall to the Mundo actually. Box of stuff, and there's the nice ult, locking out a Trey, and Malphite, I'm sorry, Nocturne is actually trying to use his ult there. However, Cam Dono going to be taking quite a bit of damage. There's the exhaust to make sure Loud Ninja does not die, and Box of Stuff had a lot of bows attached to him, a lot of arrows rather.
And that's really rough now for USBC. They just lost 3 more men after just losing another fight. The Dragon was just taken for URI, and now they have bot lane pushing up. They're going to be able to easily rotate and take another second-tier tower. And top lane's pushing too, so if they rotate properly, in fact, does Mundo have teleport? Mundo does have teleport. If he wanted, he could teleport top and put pressure there as well while the team remains in the bot lane.
URI
looks like
is
they're just going to pull back.
URI is definitely playing this beautifully now, extending their lead to about 6,000, which is a massive lead at only 20 minutes. URI looking to win this game under 30 at this rate.
Yes, and a lot of that might hinge on the Baron, because there was a lot of Baron takes last time around. It seems to be a focus for both teams. If URI can secure a Baron and win a team fight, they likely can just shove straight to the Nexus and win.
You're absolutely right. 28 minutes now, and URI up 6,000 gold. They have the lane dominance. Pre-Fnatic taking his blue once again. He's actually taken the enemy's blue just as many times. And USC in a bit of a difficulty trying to, get back this game. What happened? They were winning in the bottom lane, but, the mid lane and the top lane picks were not good. But as we look to the future, USC is only going to get stronger. They're only going to get tankier, and they're only going to become more dangerous. URI has to end this game as fast as they possibly can.
And the struggle with that Nocturne jungle is going to become more and more apparent as Mundo and Thresh and Gragas become tankier, as he really can only jump on 2 champions, and both of them have the damage to deal with them. He chose to go Devour, which is really the mistake here. If he had went for Cinderhulk, he would have been tanky enough to be able to contend with this team. But look how squishy he is and how easily he's being taken down by the URI's champions.
And URI now going to be taking down this top tower. This is tower number 6 for them. And they're just going to extend their lead now to almost 7,000 gold at 22 minutes. This is a massive amount of gold in favor of URI.
And they will have all 3 tier 2 towers now taken, with almost complete vision of the red side of USBC's jungle. They might be able to go for Baron after this if they're even able to kill 1 or 2 members of the enemy team.
Look at the amount of damage coming in from the Jhin.
It looks like Callista's ult is burned. Alistar does go in. He will be taken out. Nocturne dives onto the backline with Azir and Malphite helping him out. It looks like that's both of the main damage dealers down. That will be also Nocturne going down. And Orianna may or may not be cleaning this up. It looks like URI in the end will come out with just their tanks alive. Malphite is probably going to get away. No, that's the hook.
There's the hook, and we're just waiting on the flay now. And Malphite's actually going to be falling down to Box and Stuff. Box and Stuff taking quite a bit of damage here, though. Going to have to pop the face of the mountain by ASCII to save Box and Stuff. He's going to be taking the lantern out, and a nice play. That's a 5 for 3 coming in for URI. Once again, great plays. They're going to be extending their lead to 8,000 gold now at 23 minutes.
And it's well timed. It lets them push up the mid lane. They'll be able to stop that large wave in the bot lane from pushing onto URI's tower. And it allows them to also maintain their vision in USBC's jungle in front of the Baron, so they can keep all protection on that, which the Baron is really USBC's only way back into the game at this point.
Yes, you are definitely right. Fanatic, you let him have the Azir, and he's gonna destroy with them. Mundo 4-0-4, Jin 4-1-3, and also ASCII, can't ignore him. He's 2-1-8, 10 out of 12 kills. That's a really good kill participation. That's what is that? 10 to 4, 5/6.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 5/6 of the all KDA he's got. But right now, it looks like they're going to dance around the dragon for vision. I do not feel like USBC can actually contend for a dragon at all. Mundo is going to unfortunately burn his ultimate early, thinking he needs to run away, and USBC will just pull back, satisfied with the fact that Mundo's ult is now gone.
Yeah, Box's stuff wasn't really where he was supposed to be that fight, and he felt the pressure coming in. They could have engaged on him, and I feel like that was a safe play by the Mundo to waste his ult. His ult has a pretty short cooldown. As you can see, it's only about 45 seconds, and his ult will be coming up shortly. It's already halfway done its cooldown.
Well, the chain CC is ready for USBC. If they can get a catch onto the right person, they can win this fight and take Dragon. But as it stands now, it looks like they're outmatched and they're a little bit scared to go in.
Yep, and URI is going to be aggroing the Dragon, so the Dragon does a little bit more damage on them as well. Now, one thing to pay attention to is if they do this Dragon, if Cam Dono can get down enough arrows on the Dragon, that's a huge amount of damage compared with the Smite from Aethanol, and that's going to be an easy Dragon pickup by USC if they play this smart.
Yes, we'll have to see how it goes. Right now, they're very hesitant, and they are not a team that is really able to play reactive with this comp. They are very engage-oriented, so they're going to have to make the first move if they want to win.
If we take a look at this middle lane as well, the middle lane's now pushing up quite a bit. USC is going to have to back off at some point. There's the curtain call.
And that's the curtain call. It looks like Nocturne is going to be forced away and using his spell shield in the process. Lucia will lose almost all of his health. And so far, here we go. Nothing's still happening. Everybody's mostly just disengaging. And the Nocturne goes in with the Malphite. It looks like 4 men are caught up in the ultimate. But it's just not enough damage, and they will just blow up the Malphite and the Nocturne with almost no consequence while Mundo just handles everybody else. They will get the entire team and the Dragon for this. That is the ace.
That's a 5-0 clean ace. Very good play there by the Mundo, being able to isolate Atreyan and Orianna, as well as Lucia. I'm sorry, not Lucia. It was, it was Lucia and the Alistar, able to isolate him out. They're actually going to go for the Baron here. Not a bad decision. Up by 10,000 gold. Might as well just extend that gold lead, play this safe. They don't want to, throw any more games. They want to take this one nice, easy, nice and swift.
That's right, and their minions really aren't in a good position to try to push up on towers right now, as the Death Timers haven't gotten too extravagant yet. But they will be able to take the Baron with almost no issue. They are a little low health, but they should be able to juggle it, and they do.
And that's going to only extend URI's lead now, up by 12,000 gold at 27 minutes. This game has been dominated by URI, trying to pick up their 10th win of the season.
And this does look like a very one-sided game. Oh my god, I have to really still continue to question this Nocturne, though. He's still got the Devourer. He's 2 stacks away from sating it, but with his lack of tank and that being the main issue for him, he's going for the Blade of the Ruin King second instead of a tank item. He's really squishy right now, and it doesn't seem to be helping him at all, as every time he's dove into the back line, he gets deleted by the squishy he's trying to take down.
Yeah, not a lot of good decisions coming in here from USC. They had a really good game last time, just barely were edged out by URI. However, this game is far different. USC not doing what they need to do, not picking those safe fights. They're fighting over and over again, but they are losing almost every single team fight.
Yeah, and we do now see the Sata Devourer from the Nocturne. Alistar is starting to get tanky. He does get a 3-man knockup, and we're going to have to see how this goes. It's a very messy fight, but it looks like Nocturne will be the first death here. Malphite will use his ult along with Callista's Rend, and that may be 3 men going down.
It's going to be a pretty nice fight here coming in for USC. However, once again, USC caught out in a lot of dumb fights. Kanmoto utterly demolished by a Loud Ninja, and that's going to be a 2-5 ace coming in from URI, and they might actually have enough time to end this game now. They got a nice minion wave.
This is almost absolutely over. I have to commend the Azir for that tower that he placed, because that tower was firing upon USBC's team the entire fight, and even after Azir died, he was still putting out damage. And that will win them the game, it looks like.
This is just about over. URI now taking down their second inhibitor. They're trying to take this series 2-0. Iphenol doesn't want to give it up just yet, though. However, Box of Stuff and Loud Ninja able to end this game. This is a 29-minute, 1-second game for URI. URI winning the series 2-0.
Yeah, a very different game from the last one. The last one going past 50 minutes. I believe it was 53, and this one being 29 minutes long, much shorter and much more confident coming from URI.
I absolutely have to agree with you. If you look at the stats here, Box of Stuff, 6-0-10. He had he had a perfect game, 6-0-10, 16 out of 22 kills participation. ASCII with the 19 kill participation out of 22, very good. And if we just take a look at the damage, we can see the reason why they lost this game.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. You see how low the damage is on USBC's team. Orianna, Alistar, and Nocturne all having less damage dealt than the Thresh on URI. The support managing to out-damage 3 other players, including carries. Extremely disappointing.
USC did put up a very good fight both games, though, and we definitely are going to have to say thank you for the great games that they gave us tonight. And, best of luck to the future. Both teams will face each other once again later in the season, and possibly even the playoffs at this point. We know USC is doing very well this season as well, and URI now 10-2 going into next week's game. What do you think is that URI needs to work on for the next game?
There was some mild communication errors here and there, things like explosive casks knocking people out of the curtain call, small things like that. But for the most part, they played somewhat cleanly. They had good itemization. They had good effort in team fighting. I think they did pretty good overall. Their vision was good. I didn't see too many issues this time around, aside from the minor communication issues they seem to have.
Right, and I'm definitely going to have to agree with you on the communication. URI had a lot of good team fights. However, they also had a lot of miscommunication errors. A lot of them was with the explosive cask, especially in the bot lane where we saw that Gragas used the explosive cast just as Thresh was casting his Q, and that was unable to actually finish off both the Alistar and the Kalista, but instead just picking up the kill on the Kalista, which is not bad. But, it's something to work on for next week. And
we can't be too critical on the Grogs, though, as we've seen even in LCS. Explosive casts are very hard to work with, and constantly there are misplays around that. So, he did good overall, and that's what mostly matters when it comes to Gragas, is he's kind of 50-50 with how that cask is going to go. A single flash changes the entire effect of that ability.
And now it's time to name our MVP of the series. Last time we met, it was actually Deranged Tournament that won the MVP. This time, I'm going to have to say it's ASCII. He had a lot of really good Bard ults in the first game that saved a lot of people, a lot of good engages as well, a lot of good mystical journeys. And in this game, very high kill participation, the good initiation with the Q once again, the good saves with the flays as every time somebody tried to dive him, he knocked away Nocturne. He knocked away Alistar. He had a great game, and I have to give the MVP award to ASCII.
And I'm going to have to somewhat disagree with you. I definitely say he did an amazing job and he's definitely deserving of praise. But Box of Stuff really shined here. Even when he was losing that lane to the Fiora in the first game, he still managed to come back and be an incredibly important role for his team. And in the second game, manages to completely not die even once and have a perfect game, winning his lane and being able to 2v1 the enemy team while his team is taking care of the rest.
Right, you are. And we're going to be signing off now. Once again, URI wins this series 2-0 against University of Southern California Team B for the East Division. My name is Unknown Reality. I'm here with Saber of Spades,
Also known as Lucas.
Also known as Lucas.
It was a good shoutcasting for you guys, and we'll see you around next week.
Thanks, guys. Hang tight and enjoy your spring break.